Let me guess. You have been in a meeting lately where you could feel the room slipping. You are explaining something important. You know the numbers. You know the work. And yet, the energy in the room drifts. People check their phones. The decision maker nods politely and says, "Let us table this for next week." And you walk out thinking, "I just was not convincing today." Most of the time, it is not your intelligence the room doubts. It is your small words, the throwaway phrases that have crept into your speech, so small, you do not even hear them anymore. And the room hears them loud and clear. This video is about 13 of those words. 13 phrases that quietly erode your credibility every time you say them. And the fix is not complicated. It is a single week of awareness that will change how every room hears you for the rest of your career. Let us talk about why this matters. Research out of Princeton and Harvard has shown that listeners form credibility judgments within the first few seconds of someone speaking, and those judgments are heavily influenced by what researchers call linguistic precision markers. Translation: the words you choose signal how precise, confident, and competent you are before your content even has a chance to land. Filler words, hedge words, over-apologizing, these signal uncertainty. And when a room reads uncertainty in you, they do what any rational listener would do. They stop trusting your content, not because the content is wrong, because the wrapper around it is weak. This is magnified for leaders. A senior product manager in Buckhead can lose a budget approval, not because her numbers are wrong, but because she opens with, "I just wanted to kind of share some thoughts on this." A founder in Decatur can lose a partnership meeting, not because the deal is bad, but because she keeps saying, "I think maybe we could sort of try something." The room hears the words and assumes the conviction matches. The good news, the fix is shockingly simple. You do not need speech therapy. You need awareness and a single week of intentional replacement. Let me walk you through it. I have grouped the 13 words into 4 clusters so they are easier to remember. Cluster 1, stalling openers. These are words people use at the start of sentences to buy themselves thinking time, except the room hears them as, "I am not ready to talk yet." Word 1, SO, as a sentence starter. So I wanted to share. So the idea is, so what I am thinking is, when you use so to open every statement, you sound like you are stalling. You sound like you are still figuring out what you think. The fix: pause, breathe, begin directly. A 1-second silence at the top of a sentence is a power move. It signals you knew where you were going all along. Word 2, well, as an opener. Well, I think we should. Well, the way I see it is, well, that is an interesting point. Starting with well softens your authority and delays your point. Cut it. Lead with the core message. I think we should. Straight in. Word 3, actually. Actually, the numbers say. Actually, what happened was. When used to correct someone, actually can come across as condescending, like you are calling them wrong before they have finished. The fix: just present the correct information. The numbers say, period. The actually was always doing damage. Cluster 2, hedge words. These are the words that turn a strong statement into a wobbly one. The room reads them as, this person is not sure. Word 4, I think, I believe. I think the market is shifting. I believe we should invest here. When the statement is based on data, expertise, or experience, drop the hedge. You are not thinking? You know. The market is shifting because? We should invest here because? Save I think for genuine opinions where it is actually appropriate. Word 5, kind of, sort of. We are kind of ready to launch. This is sort of the direction. These vague qualifiers destroy your clarity. If you are ready, say you are ready. If you are not, say what you still need. We are ready to launch on the 15th. Clear, committal, actionable. We are kind of ready. Your audience now has to guess what you mean. Word 6, like, as a filler. I was like going to the meeting and he was like totally on board. And I was like, okay. In a business setting, every like chips away at your professionalism. The fix is brutal but effective. Practice removing it. You will feel awkward for a week, then you will stop hearing it. Cluster 3, minimizers. These are the words that shrink what you are saying, even when what you are saying is genuinely important. Word 7, just. I just wanted to add, I just have a quick question. I just think we should. The word just signals that you see your contribution as small, as an interruption, as something the listener is doing you a favor by tolerating. The fix is one letter, deleted. I wanted to add, I have a quick question. I think we should. Same sentence, same meaning, without the apology embedded in your grammar. Word 8, really. Our client was really satisfied. The numbers are really strong. As an intensifier, really is the laziest word in your vocabulary. It tells your audience nothing. The fix, specifics. Our client satisfaction scores hit 93%. Q3 revenue was up 47%. Specifics make you sound credible. Really makes you sound like you do not have the specifics. Word 9, sorry. Sorry to bother you. Sorry, I just wanted to quickly ask. A well-placed apology is humility. An overused one is a credibility leak. Every sorry in a business context telegraphs, I do not think my time is worth your time. The fix is to cut the preamble entirely. State your point. The room will respect it. Cluster 4, overcompensators. These are words people use to sound more certain than they feel, and the room can smell it. Word 10, absolutely. Absolutely, I can do that. Absolutely, we should. Absolutely, you are right. Overuse makes this feel canned, robotic, like you are trying to convince yourself as much as them. The fix is a simple yes, or you are right. Same meaning, way more weight. Word 11, honestly, to be honest. Honestly, I think this is the right call. To be honest, the launch was rough. These phrases unintentionally imply that what you said before was not honest. The fix is to build trust through consistent clarity. No disclaimers needed. Just speak. Word 12 and 13. For example. Yes, 2 words. For example, when we launched the new onboarding flow. For example, the way we handled the Q2 issue. Used sparingly, this is a useful transition. Used every paragraph, it becomes verbal clutter. The fix, vary your transitions. Here is what that looks like in practice. Case in point, last quarter, this happened. Any of these signals the same transition without the overuse. Example 1, a senior account executive at a Buckhead SaaS company following up on a proposal, powerless version. Hi, sorry to bother you. I just wanted to quickly check in and see if you maybe had a chance to look at the proposal. I think it is a really good fit for your needs, and to be honest, I believe it could sort of help you reach your Q4 goals. Why it fails. Sorry to bother you frames the call as an imposition. Just wanted to minimizes the importance. Maybe, sort of, and I think all hedge the promise. Really good fit is vague. To be honest implies the rest might not be honest. Powerful version. I am following up on the proposal we sent last Tuesday. It outlines how we can help you exceed your Q4 goals by increasing lead conversion by 15%. When is a good time this week to walk through it? Whole pitch, 15 seconds, no minimizers, no hedges, specifics where they matter, permission to move forward. That is the difference. Example 2. A small business owner in Savannah pitching a new venue partnership. Powerless. So I just kind of wanted to see if you maybe would be open to like sort of hosting an event with us. I think it could be really good for both of us. And honestly, I believe we would bring a lot of value. Powerful. We are looking for a Savannah venue partner for our fall showcase, about 150 guests, October 18th. Based on your past events with coastal Georgia weddings, I think our audience is a strong fit. Would you be open to a 15-minute call next week to explore it? Same person, same intent, different words, different outcome. So, 4 clusters, 13 words. Stalling openers. So, well, actually. Hedge words, I think, kind of, sort of like. Minimizers, just really, sorry. Overcompensators, absolutely, honestly, for example. The research is unambiguous. Linguistic precision signals competence. Specificity signals confidence. Directness signals authority. Every time you cut a hedge, every time you replace a minimizer with a specific, every time you delete an apology from your opener, you take a small piece of credibility back. Your challenge this week: pick 3 words from this list. The 3 you say most. Write them on a sticky note and put it on your monitor. When you catch yourself saying one, pause, replace it with the direct version. Notice how the room responds differently. By next week, you will have 3 words permanently removed from your speech. By next month, you will have all 13. Because the words you choose are not accessories. They are instruments of influence. And now you know which ones to retire. If you heard yourself in any of these words, and you probably did, share this with a colleague who needs the same wake-up call. Subscribe to Zeerflow-communication for 1 communication upgrade every week. Comment below, which of the 13 words are you cutting first? I want to know which one hit home. See you next time.